Hello everybody, welcome to this latest episode. I am your host Robbie and this is Robbie's Talking Teas. Tarantula content for tarantula lovers just like yourselves. If you want to be a better tarantula keeper or just admire these amazing animals, make sure to subscribe to the channel, comment down below and give this video a big thumbs up. In today's episode I'm rehousing the desert blonde tarantula Aphonopelma chalcodes. So let's do it. So here we go, this is the old setup that I had for the desert blonde. See, I've left a dubia roach in there, which isn't very clever. Lucky it was dead. But as you can see, the enclosure is very basic, and I know these don't need an elaborate setup in order to keep them, but I like to make mine look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by taking all this stuff out. I may reuse this bit of cork bark as well. Now I know that the spider is down in this back left hand corner, because if I just turn the enclosure, you can just see her down there in the bottom, minding her own business. And I am gonna have to poke her out, I believe, so that she comes out of here. Now, just like any other Aphonopelma species, these are very simple to keep. There's no humidity requirements. All they need is some substrate, a hide and a water dish, and other than that it's pretty much all you need. And what I'm going to attempt to do is just poke in here. What I'm going to try and do, so she can't run back down into the burrow, is just collapse this down, especially as she's emerging right here. If I collapse the burrow behind her, only option, he says, is for her to come straight out, which she has done very nicely. So like I was saying, this is a very simple species to keep. They are thought to be on the docile side, or the more docile side, but I have got a couple of Aphonopelma that do have attitude. Look at her just climbing the glass. Now, so we don't risk injury, I am gonna try and get her into this catch tube rather than let her climb about inside the enclosure, which could cause her to injure herself, and we don't want that. We want a nice, safe, calm rehousing of this species. So like I was saying, care requirements, these are very simple. I keep all my tarantulas in the collection at 24 degrees during the day and 18 degrees at night. I feed slings and juveniles every other day, small mealworms, small lateralis roaches or small dubia roaches, and as they start to put on size, I increase the size of the food, and I will feed adult specimens a large dubia once a week, once a fortnight, and they do just fine. They don't require any extra humidity. These do just fine in a more drier environment. Just a full water dish, and maybe sometimes overflow it a little bit, and these are perfectly happy. They are a burrowing species, so do make sure to provide them with 6 to 8 inches of substrate so they can build a burrow, and they'll do just fine. They are gorgeous. You can see with the coloration why this species is called the desert blonde, and also you see where these black markings are appearing on the carapace. That is a sign that she needs to molt, and not many people know that. Let's look at the abdomen. Yeah, as you can see, the abdomen is also turning black. It's not at the point where it's nice and shiny yet, but she's getting there. She's getting to the point where she will molt and put on some size. I say she, I'm not sure of the sex yet. Let's see if we can get a nice ventral view. Now this isn't a great way to sex your tarantulas, and I always advise people to wait for the molt, but we're going to take a look anyway. See, it's just impossible to tell. So hopefully when this one molts out, I'll be able to sex it. Some beautiful fangs. I apologise for the fingerprints that you can see on the catch tube, but these are beautiful. So let's get her in her new enclosure. So here we have the new setup for the Aphonopelma chalcodes. I have done this as a more planted sort of setup. Even though they are called the desert blonde, they are found in dry desert areas, but they're also found in planted wooded areas too. They do just fine in both habitats. So I've decided to go for this sort of wooded area looking enclosure. Inside the enclosure we've got my normal substrate, which is cocoa fibre topsoil with a little bit of vermiculite in there. We've also got the green moss, cork bark hide, some more bits of cork bark in here, some pieces of leaf litter which will decay eventually, and also a water dish. I will clean this out. I cleaned it out once and it has got substrate fallen into it already, so I will clean that out before I fill it up. So growth wise, I didn't mention before, Aphonopelma chalcodes is a very slow grower, but they do have an awesome lifespan. Females can live anywhere up to 30 years, and males have a long lifespan of between 5 and 10 years, which for males is really freaking awesome. So if you want a long-lived spider, definitely look into getting one of these, because you will have it a long time. It is just as good as having something like a Grammostola rosea in your collection, because they do live for a very long time. Let's just pop this open and get this one into its new setup. Boop, boop, boop. Go on. Off you pop. Boom, 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 boom. Keep going. Keep yourself going. Go on. See? Temperament. Very, very good. Definitely a good beginner species, even though it has been reported that some people do have absolutely psycho chalcodes. I haven't experienced it yet. They have tended to be very docile. Size wise, these get between 5 and 6 inches. So they are a nice big spider for anyone wanting a larger species in their collection. They are heavily bodied and they're just stunning. But just be aware that they do take a long time to reach that size, especially if you get one as a sling. It could be years before you get one that even gets to this size. Now this one, I'm going to say is about 3 inches. Maybe 3.5 inches, so it's definitely got a lot of growing to do. Hopefully it will put on some size with the next molt. Absolutely gorgeous, that animal. Also, being a new world, these do have urticating hairs, so if you're a beginner in the hobby, be aware that the hairs here on the abdomen, they do use their back legs to flick these hairs off as a form of defense. Now these can be irritating to the skin, and you definitely don't want to get them in your eyes, in your mouth or up your nose, because they do cause severe irritation and itching. So be careful if you do pick up this species. So there we have it. Aphonopelma chalcodes, the desert blonde, in its new enclosure. I'm going to leave her there to get settled in, to dig a burrow underneath that cork bark, and hopefully she'll be happy in this new setup. So let's leave it there. So there you have it, a very smooth and straightforward rehousing of an absolutely gorgeous species of tarantula, and hopefully you've got all the information you need in order to care for them. I'm going to end the video here, but before I go, I want to take the time to remind you guys about the 2,000 subscriber giveaway we've got going on the channel. At 2,000 subscribers, I'll be giving one of you the chance to win T. Caledonia, and if that's not enough, I'm also throwing in a Ferrophosa apophysis. All you have to do to be entered is be subscribed to the channel, go over and watch my Grammostola rosea video, and just type T. Caledonia in the comments. Once you've done that, we'll be entered. We are currently sitting at 1,906 subscribers, so hopefully it won't be long until we reach that 2K mark. So now all that's been said, all I've got left to say is have a nice day, have a great week. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.